Speaking with Charles McFall of the Bear Crawling Nation today about those things that we are pursuing in our life and the bumps in the road that we keep hitting on our way to get there. And the topic of the conversation is what we're going to be talking about at the next The Other Side of Live show, and the blog that I'm currently working on is how bad do you want this thing that you say you want? How bad do you really, really want it? Now, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to go through? Are you willing to give up your TV time, your video game time? Are you willing to give up spending time with friends, hanging out, to achieve this thing that you say is your passion, your dreams? For me, it's motivational speaking and doing my internet radio show, etc. The same thing with Charles. His is the Bear Crawling Nation. He's got a daytime job, a bread and butter job, as I like to call it. I have the same thing with Tortuga Twins. We're both lucky in what we have, and we're happy for that, to be able to take care of business, feed the family, etc., and ourselves, pay bills, but there's that passion. So what about our off times? I just need to relax. I just need to, kick back, do some mindless monster killing on video games. But in the meantime, how much time am I putting into this thing that I said that I want? The only thing standing in between me and this thing that I say that I want is me. I talked to Charles about it. I even talked to him about him doing motivational speaking. I asked him, can you see yourself doing it? He's like, yeah. Can you see yourself being successful? Do you see you're able to talk to people? You're comfortable with that? Do you think that if you really applied yourself that you could do this? You could make a career out of it? He's like, yes. So the only thing that's standing in the way is you, and that's the same thing with me. And that's the same thing with you. Maybe you're picking something, and I use the preposterous thing. You're 82 years old and you want to be an astronaut. Maybe that's your thing. John Glenn did it at 77. So if you can't see yourself doing this, then maybe you need a smaller baby step. Maybe you need to go to an astronaut club, or join a club with people that like space. So you're at least getting close to it. But if you can really see yourself doing this, if you can really see yourself being doing this passion that you have, maybe you've had an inkling of it before. If you love raising horses and things like that, and it's something that you're very good at, and yet you're at another job, that doesn't have that, then the only thing that's standing in the way with you doing this thing is you. So how bad do you really want it? What are you willing to give up for it? It's like the universe going, do you really want this thing? Sure, you can have it. Do you really want it? I'm going to put a little roadblock so you have to work for it. So you can prove to yourself. So it's not an easy thing that you're like, it was no big deal. It wasn't that fun trying to over, as human beings, we like succeeding over something. I use the example of leveling up your life in a video game. Playing on the lowest level is not always the funnest part. It's when you start putting obstacles against you and overcoming those obstacles, maybe at the very last minute, or maybe before that, but overcoming those obstacles, that's when victory is the sweetest. So if you really want to do these things, you're going to have to get out of your own way. You're going to, whether you're baby stepping it, first of all, you need to set your beacon, you need to set your goal. A dream without steps towards something, it's just a dream, it's not a goal. You need to set your goal. And then you need to work out your steps, whether you're making a list or whatever, to move towards that thing. And if you have to number those lists. What's first, so that I'm going to do this one thing until it's done. That's usually what I have to do. I got to the point of I did mind mapping, where you draw circles and then the arrows out, and okay, well, this is connected to this, this is connected to this, so I can see what's standing in my way. And there's one roadblock. There's one choke point that until I do it, I can't do anything else. Nothing else matters. So that's the thing I'm focused on. So that's what you have to do. You know, draw your roadmap, hit your points, and then begin to move forward. Get out of your own way. If you really think, you know, you can do this thing that is going to be your fantastic life, where you're living your passion every day, and you're the only thing standing in the way, find out why, and then move forward. Get out of your own way. So that's it. That's what we're going to be talking about in the next The Other Side of Life. Do you really want to do this thing? How bad do you really want to do this thing? What are you willing to give up? So think about that this week until you tune in. And I know I'm thinking about it. I know Charles is thinking about it. And until then, welcome to my mortal world.